Hi there, I'm Claudine Helmuth and I'm excited to share with you today my paper apple favor box kit. So in this kit you get 6 apples in both red and green. Some of the apples are plain, some come with cute little polka dots and ginghams on them, and the leaves have a little to and from area on the back so that you can write a little note to your special someone. These are perfect for teacher appreciation, back to school, end of school, or even a fall party. You can just open up the boxes here at the bottom, and they're perfect size for little wrapped candies and treats can go inside. And then you just close up the box like that. So I've got a couple of tips to help you put this together. This isn't a hard kit to put together, but there's definitely some paper folding tips that you'll want to watch. I'm going to show them to you right now. So when you download your kit and print it out, this is what all of the pages are going to look like. Obviously, the apple patterns will be different, whether they're red and green, and then the patterns on the apple. I'm going to show you how to put together the polka dotted apple today, but they all go together exactly the same way. So for this kit, you will want to cut around the outside of the template, and I'm going to show you a little trick to the leaf and stem area, as well as a little trick to cut these tabs faster. Okay, so a couple cutting tips for you. On the leaf and stem, just cut it out like this with a broad margin around it. I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this off in a minute, but just having it like this will help a lot and make it easier for you. On the circle, you'll want to cut out the little rectangle. There's a black line rectangle, just using a craft knife. Make sure to be careful when you're cutting that out. Now on the apple, you'll see here I've left the white areas of the paper right in between all of these tabs. Now you can cut out all of these tabs, but a really fast way to get around cutting out all of the tabs is to just leave the white area of the paper and then make cut marks that go down into the center part of the white paper so that it's like this. Now you can cut out the tabs and it will make for a slightly smoother apple, but this will make it go faster. Also note there are solid lines on each tab here area, and you're going to want to cut in on those so that it goes down like that. You'll see in your template where there's solid lines there, so you want to make sure to cut in on all of those. So now that it is all cut out, we need to score all of the dotted lines that are on it. Let me zoom in to see. They're very faint. You can see the dotted lines. We need to score all of the dotted lines on the apple and then the center dotted line here on the stem. And the reason we want to score is because we're working with a heavier weight paper. And in order to get a really nice smooth fold, we need to make a dent in the paper. So the way I do it is I have a legal pad here which provides some cushion. I have a ruler, and then I have a pen with no ink in it. And I just line up my ruler with the dotted line, and then I just draw down with my pen. And then you'll see there it makes a nice dent in the paper, which will make a really clean fold. And I like to work on the Staples Photo Matte paper. It's a very inexpensive paper and it prints beautifully. So on the stem, here's what we want to do. We just want to score down that center line down the whole piece of paper, and then we're just going to fold it in half, and then we're going to unfold it, and we're going to take a little bit of glue stick and apply it. And then seal it closed. And we'll just set that aside for later. And one little extra tip about scoring. On these pieces, they have sort of an arched dotted line. Now you don't even need to use the ruler for those. You can just take your pen and draw over the dotted line, which will score the paper. Once all of your lines have been scored, you want to fold them up so that this way you can make sure that you haven't missed any lines to score. You'll know that if you missed a line to score, it just won't fold nicely. Then on these pieces, you just want to take them and fold, kind of bend and fold them down so that they go along the dotted line. And sometimes I even take my fingernails and just kind of press in there. On these pieces, we just want to kind of warm up the paper and get it so that it will want to bend in the direction that we're going to want it to go. So just kind of quickly go like that. And now it is ready for the adhesive. So I have a little trick for applying the adhesive to the apples. Now, if you bought my cupcake kit, you have already seen this tip, but it's great to rewatch it again here. We're going to want to apply tape to the letter A, and normally you would apply tape to all of these. But I find it easier to apply tape to the back area. It's just faster. So first we'll apply tape to the letter A. Now I'm using the Scotch tape gun here. You could use any kind of double stick tape from the craft store. And then you want to go as close to the edge as possible. I actually don't even mind if mine gets a little bit on the outside of the tabs. All I do is just fold it over at this stage to make sure that all the adhesive is going towards the inside of the tabs. So now we can begin assembling. So we're going to take tab A and line it up with the opposite side of the apple, and you can see where it lines up there, and then just press it. And then I just like to start here with tab B and C and go up. So all you're going to do is fold in and press, and then fold. Make sure your little tabs are going down. And then you're going to switch over to the other side, which is W through Y. And you'll kind of get your own system down, but I like to switch back and forth on each tab. And then keep pressing from the inside to make sure you're getting good adhesion. And keep going around. Now I'm doing tab T. So you can see there how it's coming along. So at this point, I want to make sure that these opposite ones are going under and then these opposite ones are going over. It doesn't matter which ones are going over or under, you just want them to be across from each other. So it wouldn't matter if these two were under those two. You want them to be across from each other because that's what's going to look nice. And then you just continue, and then I'm going to do these two sides. Make sure everything lines up. And then I like to press a little bit on the tabs from the inside to puff them out. The nice thing about the Scotch tape is that it's a little tiny bit removable until you've completely pressed and adhered it. So it gives you a little bit of working room if you need to adjust any of your tabs. We can just close up the box and we've got the beginning of our apple, but we still need the stem to finish it off and really make it look like an apple. Here's our stem from earlier, and we've glued it together, and now you're just going to want to cut out following one side. And if you scored and lined it up really carefully down the center, you should not have any problem with white showing. If you get a little bit of white, you can just trim it off. And then we just need to score this little tiny dotted line right there. And I don't even need to get my legal pad out for this or a ruler. I can just draw on it with my scoring pen. And then you'll fold it. As a finishing step, we need to apply the stem. So here's our circle from earlier. And all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of tape and I'll apply tape all the way around the circle. Now you could use glue stick for this as well if that's easier. I want to apply just a little bit of tape that's close to the hole there because that will hold our stem on. And then I'm going to take the stem and slide it through till I get to the folded part. And I can just fold that over. And now it's like this. And then I just apply it to the top of my apple. Make sure that that's secure. Apple looks super cute. And now it's ready to get a few little candies and treats. You can actually fit quite a few things in here. Ready to close it up. And now we've got a really cute little paper apple party favor box. I recommend if you have filled yours with a lot of treats and it feels kind of heavy, you might want to seal the bottom with a little round sticker or a piece of tape just to make sure everything holds secure inside. A cute little apple. You're going to want to make all of them in the kit. Perfect for your fall parties, back to school, start of school, teacher appreciation. I hope you're going to have fun with this kit.